Hey, you! I'm your nutrition coach. My name is Jackie Poole. Welcome to Happiness is a Healthier Habit. Let's get today's episode started. Hey, I am so glad you're here. Like always, thank you for joining me on this Tuesday. We are in July and we are feeling good. I hope you are too. I'm kind of gonna wing it here today, so bear with me. I had something planned and it's not gonna go that way. But today's topic, it's going to be strong versus skinny. And I feel like that's something that really resonates, with me right now, because sometimes we get on that mindset of we want to lose weight, we want to lose weight as quick as possible. And I feel like it's more prominent now for women to do weights and build muscle, but it wasn't that years ago. And kind of going back to when I started my journey, I was walking, I was doing like Zumba classes morning and night, and I was doing the boot camps and Zumba toning, and which were great introductions, great for me seeing results, but the body composition of how I wanted to look was not there. Like, I had loose skin. I had very I just look skinnier, right? Which is when we see somebody, which I just was with my mom this past weekend, and we had gone to a birthday party that they were having and invited my parents, and I just tagged along, and one of her friends had lost a lot of weight. And don't get me wrong, when you accomplish something as losing weight and keep it off and stay there, that's absolutely amazing. Like, good for you. Don't always diminish your accomplishments. But on the other side, sometimes when we want a more defined look, a more, a lot of marketing goes towards, I want to look more toned, and that ultimately is going to come down to your body composition. I mean, there's there's terms that go along with like skinny fat, right? And that has to do with, yeah, you're skinny. Like, I know one of my uncles, he is a stick, but what that means is maybe your visceral fat, maybe your fat around your organs, the percentage of that, the amount that you need to have around that is high. And so going back to the exercising, when we want to lose weight, when we, quote unquote, want to look toned, but not muscular, right? When we focus on only doing cardio, only, doing the machines and not stepping on the other side of the gym, not stepping into that kind of fear that we might have. I know that can be intimidated. It can be a little hard. Like, I remember when I started, like I said, I was doing all the Zumba things, and then I was like, well, maybe I should go to the gym, right? And so I was really scared. I didn't know how to use the machines. I didn't want to look like a fool, and I didn't want to ask. I'm not one to ask. And then slowly I started, watching people while I'm still on the other side, doing the machines, doing the elliptical, doing the Stairmaster, doing the treadmill. I did those and I was comfortable there, but I slowly started kind of watching what people were doing, how they were doing it, and I brought myself to go into that world of moving weight. And as time progressed, I had lost a lot of weight for initially when I did doing all the cardio, but I just looked skinny. Like I didn't have like toned legs, and that's something that I kind of wanted to get, right? And so the difference between being skinny and strong is there's a couple of differences, right? With being skinny, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But at the same time, you want a strong muscle skeletal system. You want something that's going to help you as you're aging. As women, when we grow older, when we start hitting into that menopause stage, and I feel like it's important to talk about that right now because we'll be prepared when we get there. But as we're walking to that road, our hormones don't work as well. Our hormones are fluctuating. Our bones aren't recuperating and developing the same way. Women tend to develop osteoporosis, which is the loss of bone health. And so building muscle is going to be your number one thing to develop that longevity, so you are not having to deal with, that situation of losing muscle. So when you build muscle, you're increasing your bone density, you're developing your strength, and you're looking more toned. And so that was my goal after I decided to do that years ago. I want to look more, defined. I want my arms to look a certain way. I want to have, I don't want the flab to move. It's funny because I used to do this like check, like if you wave and your arm is flapping, like that is something as women we are, or as me, I'm very aware of. And so like I focus on that. And there's seasons where I'm a little higher than others. Right now I'm within this time that I'm like doing my own journey right now of just trying to cut down a little bit of weight, and I'm trying to cut down fat, right? Because that's what body composition is. When you think about it, is you're increasing the muscle percentage, you're decreasing the body fat, and so on. And sometimes that can be nuanced to a lot of people, like that doesn't even matter, right? But when you just try it out for a few weeks just to learn about how you can change your body, it creates a much more greater awareness of how food affects you as well. Because your goal right now could be like, I just want to be strong so I can pick up my kid from, this or that. I just want to be in good shape so I can go out running with my kids. One of my goals right now with me training as far as like running goes is because Adrian is catching up to me. Like sometimes when we're playing tag, like that boy can run. And so he's not even 10 yet. So in my goal, I'm like, oh no, this is not going to I'm not going to let him win. Like this is a challenge for me as far as like I want to be able to play with him and, race and things like that. So that's where muscle comes in. It not only helps you lower that bad fat that we are carrying around your organs, but also we are focusing on having a much healthier aging process, a much simpler aging process. I guess you would think like aging gracefully, right? Because we don't want to be that person, I had an accident and I broke my hip. I always remember my coworker, she broke her hip. Like, how do you do that? Because we are not building strong enough muscles to support our body as we age, and she was only like 60 or not even, I think she was just turning 60 or something like that. So that's the purpose of building muscle. So we gotta pick up the weights. So if you're doing the Zumba classes with the toning and the weights, that's probably not gonna help you build muscle. If you're doing body squats, that's great. But eventually you're going to have to progress overload, right? Which add more weight. We kind of tend to get a little stuck sometimes in our ways as far as like, oh, this worked before, I just have to do it again and it will work again. But as we get older, especially as women, I think the most cardio we should be doing is, it can be as simple as walking. And focus on the majority of our, exercising in strengthening our muscles, our body. For when we get older, those types of accidents don't happen. So we're going to talk about things that we can do to increase our strength and not be worried about being skinny, but being focused on how to get strong. So I know it can be very challenging to get things done around the house, but I have a very simple solution. Feeling overwhelmed with kids being at home can lead you to think that you might have to push your weight loss journey or weight loss goals because it's not the right time, right? I have time, I'll do it later when they start back to school. But then we have back to school, we're getting them to school, we're buying all these things, and then we have all of these holidays coming up, and then we let ourselves just keep pushing it back to later. So the time to work on yourself is now. The kids are looking up to you, and I can guarantee you a sustainable process for making it simple with a step-by-step program to lose weight and keep the results with my habitual Sunrise Map coaching program. Again, life can be a little bit overwhelming, but having accountability to finally see results, feel energized, feel confident in your own skin, in your own body, feel good where you're at right now, and feel so happy on the progress that you're going to be making to finally losing weight. So schedule a discovery call today. The link will be below. Now back to the show. Okay, so we are going to talk about the two things that you should focus for building good body composition and helping you keep that muscle density, keep your strength, right? So it's just two factors that go along with being strong and having a good body composition and being able to not only maintain your muscles, but help your muscles support the body that you're, carrying. Because like I said earlier, as we get older, it's normalized now that it's normal for you to break bones as you get older and when you fall. And the thing when that happens is your body isn't able to sustain the type of, task or daily activities that were to happen. So it's important to strengthen that way our bones and physique and our muscles by strength training. And so I know when you do a coaching program with me, not only do we talk about nutrition, but focusing on what to do strength training wise is super important, and minimal 2 days a week. It is important, and I cannot stress this enough, to have a good regimen workout on your side, on your court, easily accessible, whether it's the gym, whether you're at home, whatever it is, you need to add weight and strength training at least twice a week. So if you don't have that, then I suggest you Find a personal trainer. Get a coach that will provide you something like that. But also think about progressive overload, right? Our body does get adjusted to a lot of the workouts we do. So that's why when you're starting off on a weight loss journey, when you're doing all these body weight movements, which are amazing and are definitely have their place, but for what we are talking about today, especially about building strength and feeling strong and building that longevity as we age, we need to include this in our daily routine. It's like a non-negotiable to have this in our daily lives. And sometimes you got to think like, why do I want to strength train, right? A lot of people have goals of doing it for their kids, doing it for myself, doing it because I want to look good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's amazing. And always go back to that reason of why you started. And that might change as time goes on, but it's always important to know the benefits that come along with doing these types of activities. And it's always important to also have a good plan to go by, so you're not just kind of not knowing what to do, because when we don't know what to do and just go off and do that, we might not see or get the results that we want. So again, strength training is so important, and not only will help you build a muscle, but it's going to aid in weight loss. It's going to help you have a more palatable, like diverse way of eating. You'll burn more calories. And so there is so many benefits with being strong and having that muscle that's going just to help your overall body. And number 2 is just eating enough nutrients. When we think of weight loss, when I started, I just want to be skinny. So, we think a lot about calories in, calories out. A lot of people, I've actually had a girl ask the other day, is 1,200 calories good? It's okay. And honestly, I don't think I would ever go under like 1,500 calories. Like that is way too low, especially for, if you're being mobile, if you're being active, if you're walking. That is very low, and you don't want to cut that. You want to add enough nutrients and minerals into your body so you can have that strong bone. And some supplements that you can add on. People think of bones, they think of calcium, which that's great, but without vitamin D, which is an essential building block for your bones, it's going to be harder for your bones to grow. So, and a lot of people are deficient in vitamin D. Mostly like 50% of the people are deficient in vitamin D. And you might be taking vitamin D and you might still be low on that. So it's always good to test for that as well. So the best thing about being a coach is that I'm also get to partner with Rupa Health, and talking about vitamin D levels today, being deficient in a lot of minerals, which a lot of people are and don't know, is very important for us to give us that knowledge and that power to know whether our hormones are off, whether we have some nutrition deficiencies. That is going to help us and be another tool in our health kit to improve our lives. The best thing about Rupa Health is that not only you get the results, I get the results, but you also get a physician to speak to you on those. They take insurance, they take FHA cards, I do self-pay, whatever you want, whatever tests you're needing or want to ask about, it is pretty much available in this, immense order of labs that we can do. So if you're interested, just email me at hyhy@jackiebowles.com. Now back to the show. Okay, so we're just talking about ways to improve our body composition, which is strength training, and give our body the nutrients it needs, the food it needs. make calories count. Don't count calories. I love that from Mike Dolce. It is such thing that I stand for, and always look, right? We strive for this look, and that might not be what you want. That's not might be what your body needs. And so it is important to focus on not just being skinny, but feeling empowered, lifting weights, and just making our health as healthier as we grow older, which is my goal and one of the things that I aspire, because I don't want to be breaking bones as I get older. I want to be able to chase my kids. That is something that I always have in mind as far as being able to do things and be there for them till who knows how old I am, right? I want to be there for them. And so that is one way to do it. So today, don't focus on shedding the weight quickly. Don't focus on losing all of, not eating enough calories or lowering your calorie count. Today, focus on feeling strong, on feeding your body, on adding weight, on doing strength training, on what really matters, right? And if you're somebody that's really tied to the scale, then I suggest to just maybe give it up for, a month or so and see the difference in how your clothes fit, how you are sleeping, because all of these other things that come along with strength training will also improve the quality of your life in 1,000 different ways, right? So I suggest to give it a try today, and we'll talk next time. Bye.